Welcome, Master Duelists, to the Master Duel Dojo. There are some who call me Tim. The path to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube starts here. Hit subscribe to step into the dojo and become an OG Dojo warrior. Today is Dojo Dolo Open number 2. We have 11 participants, many of which who are playing the boogeyman, Maliss. Can the non-Maliss heroes take down Maliss? You can join future tournaments by joining our Discord, link below. This is Jaden and Milito, game 1. Jaden is on heroes. Milito is on our Maliss duelist. Milito starts here with a Fiendsmith. He's going to get Fiendsmithing. Jaden has no interaction, so let's go ahead and fast forward and see what he does. Literally, we've seen this. Requiem. Requiem into Lacrima. Reborn the Engraver. Engraver comes back. We just make Sequence. Fusion into Lacrima. Lacrima reborns. Now you can make Caesar. And then do your Dormouse combo, protected completely from Nibiru. Not protected from Imperm, but they would have Impermed the sequence. So he went for Rabbit early, which is strange, but you have a Link 2 to link it straight into your Link 3 Ransom, which is very convenient. 6 gets to Reborn Dormouse. Red Ransom reloads. That will reload Chessie. Here's Apollo on top of Caesar. Now Underground retrieves Hair. Chessie banishes the Hair to draw 2 cards, including another hand trap, which is part of the power of Maliss. Now Whitebinder has hit the field. Get rid of the Dormouse. Dormouse will reload because she hasn't been reloaded yet. The 7 drawn will banish Whitebinder and draw. So Milito has drawn 3 cards here. And he ends on Caesar, Apollo, Whitebinder on the field. I feel like this could have been a Firewall Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. And he has 7 set here. 6 is in the graveyard. Imperm called by, and 3 hand traps. Plus the Hair is also interaction if he can get this binder off the field. Okay. Ferris pitch Malicious. We Apollo the Ferris, called by the Malicious. Nightmare Pain, Ash Blossom immediately. Summon Lotus. Caesar negate the Lotus. Oh no, it looks like this is the end. Milito reborns the sequence on Jaden's turn. Jaden has nothing left to do. Milito goes for access, and this is well over lethal. This is over 10,000 damage. Milito, you're BMing now. In for a bunch of damage. I suppose Nightmare Pain is not BMing. If you have a Phantom, you would be forced to attack the Phantom, so that's not BM there. Alright. Jaden lost the first game because Milito out-Malissed him, and we have another Millennium Maliss duelist. So he's going Lotus. Lotus gets ashed. But now he has Ferris, pitch the increase. Does he play multiple increase? He does not. So he sets a Vion in the back row and ends his turn with no disruption. Can Milito play through no disruption other than Spirit of Yubel? This is a Sengenjin. Sengenjin into Millennium stuff. We've seen this before. I would ponder or posit that a Doom Dragon's going to push the Ferris back here. Come in for not lethal because Spirit of Yubel protects him like a Battle Fader. We're going to Chessie for Dormouse. Now we get to combo in main phase 2, so good attempt Milito at trying to finish the game, but the opponent had a battle phase stop. Okay, here's a Ransom. Here's an Apollo. Red Ransom comes back, gain a little bit of life. Hair retrieves itself. Here we have a Cryptor. Cryptor's going to shuffle away to banish Spirit. Ransom comes back again. Here's an Access. Access is going to pop the set Nightmare Pain. Cryptor comes back. And so Milito has quite the formidable board here with a lot of interruption. Spirit of Neos and Spirit of Yubel. Will these protect his life points? I don't think so, unless they can chain to each other. But in either case, Cryptor can banish during the battle phase. So negate the Spirit of Neos. Increase puts itself in the back row. Cryptor attacks. Spirit of Yubel activates, Apollo negates the other one. This is the end of the game. Unfortunate. Very brave into Maliss format, and this is why Maliss is currently the best deck. Drex is selected going first. Drex appears to be on Maliss, and Mr. John is on Exodia! So Drex starts set 6, but he has the Underground to play. Mr. John has Maxi. Drex has Called by the Grave. So Maxi does not resolve. Dormouse gets to summon. Dormouse banish Hair. Hair retrieve herself. Here's a Link decoder. Rabbit was normal summon, so we can summon the Hair banishing Rabbit. Rabbit will reload. Link 3 into Red Ransom. Decoder gets to Reborn for free. Not draw a card. Ransom searches for Mirror. Here's an Apollo to protect us from anything going on. Splash Mage. Splash Mage Reborn a body. Make a Lingeribo. Pass. Pass on just Apollo Lingeribo. I feel like this could have been way more, but alright. Drex admitted to messing this up. So Mr. John goes for Shield, and Sengenjin. Apollo negates the Sengenjin. Makes a Cryptor on John's turn. And then banish Cryptor. Cryptor comes back. Hair banish Ransom. Ransom come back. Banish the mouse. Return the mouse and banish the shield. Okay, now he goes for the unstoppable Exodia with Millennium on. Battle phase. He's gonna imperm it. It negates. Apollo negates Exodia. Exodia's at 0 attack and will do nothing for the rest of the turn. Drex versus Mr. John. Game 2. John gets to start. Places a shifter in his back row. Sends 2 for Doom Dragon because he got ashed. Sengenjin got ashed and then he had nothing to do. So Doom Dragon pass. He goes Underground, Chain, Soul Drain. Soul Drain is a good Floodgate versus Maliss because monsters that are banished as well as in the graveyard cannot activate their effect. This is like a permanent Abyss Dweller plus banished Abyss Dweller. Drex goes for Ling, activates Code of Soul. Link's an SP. SP try to banish the Soul Drain, which resolves. But then he's going to Tikaboo. I guess it puts itself in the main monster zone. This doesn't do very much, though, because Mr. John doesn't care about all the different types. He's going to summon all different types anyways. And Maliss wants to summon mostly Cybers. So Drex has lost the second game. Mr. John has selected going second because he won the last game. So Drex gets to start. He starts Chessie Banish Dormouse. The only thing that this loses to worse than normal summon Dormouse is Ash Blossom, so it does make you vulnerable to Ash Blossom, but otherwise it's the same as starting Mouse or Rabbit in terms of being weak to something like Imperm. Okay. Code of Soul for free comes out. Summon a Ransom. A commenter says he's surprised he hasn't seen any Lancias yet. And me too. I think people had decided not to bring Lancia to the tournament because they thought other people would not be bringing Maliss to the tournament. Here's a 6. Splash Mage. Reborn the Dormouse. Now we have a Binder. This is all according to plan so far. Chessie reloads because Chessie was normal summoned. Banish Binder for 6. Reborn Ransom. Binder comes back. Binder resets 6. Here's a Terahertz. I'm not a Terahertz fan, but many people are. So I still think you fire off Dimension Shifter in this matchup. You can go Dimension Shifter, Chain, Maxi, and it still hurts the end board quite a bit of Maliss. Their things don't go to the graveyard, which they do want, because they want to banish them or reborn them out of the graveyard. Binder gets to banish 3 things, and you get 3 things to happen here. So here it comes back, set 7. 7 banishing your cards on top of D-Save and Apollo is too much. Aban has selected going first. And Aban is another Maliss duelist. Well, 281 is on a deck. This is Arcana Force with Kashtira in it. but we're going to do Maliss stuff first. Make a Link Decoder. Summon the Hair. Mouse reloads. Red Ransom gets a field spell. And interestingly, Aban is playing Millennium cards in his deck. There's a Temple in his hand. Here's an Apollo. Banish the Mirror, banish the Ransom, search Rabbit. Ransom will reload and banish Chessie. Chessie will reload, banish the Rabbit. Rabbit will reload after the draw. Here's a Splash Mage. White Binder. White Binder banishes the Rabbit, and then we 6 away Binder into Chessie. Binder comes back, gets another draw. Draw another hand trap. Love to see it. 6 reset. Apollo, Firewall, Ling. So this is the standard play. And something minor that he could have done is put Link Karibo. So when you had Ransom and Binder here, have one of them in one of these 2 zones, and then put Lingaribo in either of these 2 zones so that you can still triple co-link Firewall Dragon. Otherwise, you need your opponent to activate a trap card first, and Lingaribo is just going to negate it. So your opponent's not going to activate a trap card here. So we have 7 already set, 6 set to Reborn Binder, and 2 Imperms here. Opponent starts with a Unicorn. We search with 7 and don't banish the Unicorn. He takes our Cryptor, attacks over the Apollo. I'm not sure what Aban is doing here. If he could have activated 6 to Reborn a Maliss, and if he has Red Ransom, it would switch Unicorn's attack and defense, so it would only have 2100 attack, which is less than 2300, protecting Apollo and all of your other monsters. Okay, we got a reader. Got us on the 2 sides. He links it off into Moon, and then we're just going to Fiendsmith, but Firewall says, get out of here. Light Force 4. Some Arcana Force cards. Get more cards. Heads. Summon a World. It has gone for Tails. So, 281 will get a card back. Oh no! There was a... That was the second Imperm here. Now the game's finished, so I can't check the graveyard. That was the second Imperm. There was the first Imperm on Goddess the 2 sides. And then the second Imperm, spell in the Imperm column on the big monster, finish the game here. Not the Imperm column. He got hit by the Imperm column. Unfortunate, but that is the game. Apollo's in your EMZ with, and you have a Binder and a Ransom on the field. If this is your positioning, you can summon Lingaribo. Instead of putting it here, you put it over here, and then link these 2 into Firewall. So then, when you GWC06, you can summon Binder and Ransom next to Firewall, so then you can still triangle link your Firewall Dragon, instead of putting Lingaribo next to Firewall. So you summon Lingaribo before you summon Firewall. That's the minor difference. .281 gets to go first because he lost the first game, starting with a Unicorn into Birth. Let's see what Arcana Force can do here. So who is this? The Sun. The Sun summons. Not sure what these are doing. And then we're linking Moon anyways. Okay. The opponent's Nibiru has lit up. It has turned yellow. So Nib is active. And Nib comes down here. And 281 has to pass with a Nibiru token as his end board. Okay, Aban now has Millenniums plus several Maliss cards in hand, but only 1 will be an actual starter, so he needs these Millennium cards to eat any hand traps or insulate him. Here's a Doom Dragon. Doom Dragon put the token in the back row, and your own back row is very funny. And then he goes Battle Phase under 4 summons for lethal. Oh no! The Requiem comes out, but this is still game. 600 life points. 600 attack is not enough to protect your life points. I believe this is game 2 between Brajan and Otaku, and Brajan said he was thinking of what to Ash in the Malice matchup when he timed out, which is unfortunate, but he took the loss on the chin like a champ, and he starts game 2. Ash into Poplar, and we are doing the usual Snake Eyes things, but without Oak. Oak is the only thing we're missing. Okay, here's Moon into Fiendsmith. Flameburge will Reborn. Not using Flameburge to Nibsulate him, and the opponent does have a Nib here, so let's see what happens. Lacrima send to Graver. Graver equip. Here's Necroquip. And Graver will summon himself, and then at this point, right before Caesar can summon, the opponent is going to Nibiru. Brajan gets Maxi for Apodic Greed. And what does he set up here? He sets up IP plus Snake Eyes Yubel-Star, with little else other than a Maxi and an Ash. Brajan goes for immediate Maxi. Otaku has Called By. Otaku has Rabbit. Brajan summons the Flameburge. So this can be an Apollo here if he pleases. But he doesn't go for Apollo. Fiendsmith in Paradise is going to send Desiree. And then Desiree gets to send one of the opponent's monsters. It's going to send the Rabbit away because it's already reloaded. Banish the Hare to summon the Rabbit. SP activates here, as well as Flameburge. SP is going to banish the Rabbit now to keep the Malice names off the field. Very nice. But he has a Signet Mining that it gets ashed. So Signet Mining doesn't resolve, and the last card, Malice and Underground, banish Dormouse. Surely this banishes... No, straight into Ransom. Okay. Because there was a decoder there that I missed. Malice in the mirror. Target the SP. Let that get out of here. Ransom resummons. Chessie comes back. And then this is a Splash Mage. Splash Mage Reborn the mouse now. Link these into a Binder. Binder can eat the graveyard. It's going to banish the Mirror, IP, and Poplar. Searches a Hare. And this will set 7 on the field. 7 is activatable immediately, which doesn't get the banish, but does get a search. Binder will reload. Gold Sark, sure. At the end here. So Rabbit will come back in 2 turns. So Otaku thinks he can survive 2 turns. And Brajan has quite a large field now. Here's an Apollo to negate monster effects. Here's Yubel-Star. Now here's a sequence where we'll get Fusion. Lacrima. Lacrima Reborn Engraver. Requiem Equip Engraver. Get the Binder out of here. Also make a Caesar. And this is well over 8,000. Life points didn't even matter. So that was a good comeback from Brajan after timing out game 1. This is the last game of round 1. Game 3 of Otaku and Brajan. Brajan won the last game, so Otaku has selected going first. Otaku starts Gold Sark, banishes Mouse, Mouse will reload, and Brajan has Ash Blossom and Druid Swarm here, which are not the most effective. Druid can hit something like a Link Decoder. Chessie gets the draws, which is bad news for Brajan. Here's Decoder. Here's Ransom. So now the Druid Swarm can eat the Decoder, and it does. But Bell stops it. Bell says, no, I want that Link material. You can have your Druid Swarm later. Here's an Apollo. Apollo will now protect from the rest of the combo. And without a Nibiru delay, Apollo generally feels safe to negate Ash Blossom on the Binder banish. So here's the Binder. Banish the Binder. Reborn Ransom. Binder comes back, and he opts to not even bother with the Ash Blossom, saving it for his own Maxi, saving for Otaku's Maxi on his own turn. Here's a Terahertz. Terahertz send D-Save Worm. Okay, can Brajan play through all of this? And I already know the winner. Starts Tracked. We go Lurie. What does he do? Okay, this fakes a Requiem. Engraver will try to summon back, and he goes called by. So Engraver does not come back. Requiem here, Ash the Requiem. Senkajin comes out, and this, normally it is correct for Apollo to negate Senkajin to place itself, because Senkajin can just attack over Apollo, but the Maliss field spell, while you have other Malisses, or while you have any Maliss Link monster, they must attack those. So the field spell protects your Apollo, so you can let the Senkajin resolve if you're not scared of it otherwise, because they have to kill your Maliss Links. He gets to eat the Requiem out of the graveyard for free. Ransom comes back, summon the Rabbit, and this is the typical play where Rabbit sets 7 from the deck, and now 7 can activate, banishing Rabbit or whatever else you want, to search and banish an opponent's card. Rajan chains Ash Blossom to stop the 7 search and banish, but Otaku had Crossout Designator. Katast has selected going first. Katast is also on Maliss, and DeadTube is all hand traps. So we reload the Dormouse, we imperm the Dormouse, can't let that resolve, too powerful. Link with the Microcoder from the hand, straight into Code Talker, Microcoder triggers, but Ash Blossom negates. Mathmech Subtraction summons itself for free into Link Decoder. Now we can link these into Transcode. Link Decoder will reborn, but we impulse it. Transcode reborns the Code Talker. Summon Dotscaper, summon Splash Mage. Dotscaper will summon itself back. Splash Mage will reborn the Dormouse. Now this can make Red Ransom. Red Ransom gets to search the mirror, which is a piece of interaction. Banish the Ransom for 6, reborn the Dormouse. Ransom reloads, comes back, banish a Rabbit. Rabbit comes back, sets the TB11. Most players are not playing TB11. Link 3 into White Binder here. Chessie reloads. White Binder sets 7 now. Link Terahertz, okay. Most players are also not playing Terahertz anymore. Chessie draws Maxi and Lancia, banishing the mirror, and then the mirror searches hair. Very powerful. White Binder reloads. DeadTube has Rabbit, called by Ash Blossom. Not much we can do here. Did Katast forget to send on end phase with... It appears that Terahertz never sent anything. Terahertz normally sends D-Savor. Activate 7, banishing Rabbit, called by on Maxi. Chain Lancia to protect your Maxi from called by. And that's the game. Unfortunately, I don't think DeadTube could have done much of anything there through all of this big field. DeadTube wins the coin flip and selects going first. We have another Maliss Duelist. So how does DeadTube start this? Of course, you have to start at Rabbit, set 6. Make Link Decoder. Hair Summon banishing Rabbit. Rabbit will reload. And Katast has Ash Blossom plus Droll. Ash is not very useful, and Droll is medium against Maliss here. So you can Droll here, and this will stop Chessie draws. Goes into Apollo here. Underground banish Mouse. Mouse reloads. Reload the Chessie. Link these into Splash. Splash reborn any Maliss. This makes a Binder. Binder can now set another trap card. But we haven't yet reloaded Ransom. Or Hair. Hair also gets to come back. So Binder sets 7. Make a Firewall. So we have Firewall, 6, 7, double Imperm, Ash, Hair, plus 2 Mat Apollo. Katast starts with Signet Mining. Oof, Ash Blossom. And then Firewall gets to bring back the Ash Blossom. Katast chains Cross Out on Ash Blossom, so Ash Blossom still gets negated, even though DeadTube gets it back in hand. Katast goes for Circular. Apollo negates. I think that 7 search meant to banish, but he forgot they didn't have a Maliss Link monster. Firewall Guardian is negated by Apollo. Reborn Binder. Banish the Cybers monsters out of the opponent's graveyard so they can't activate. And Katast scoops it up here. This was too much interaction to play through. DeadTube is selected going second because Katast won the last game, or Katast lost the last game, excuse me. So here's an Alimbertion to start. So Sigma normal summon a multiplication is not the best start. And then he has Super Fact, but he doesn't have 3 Math Mechs in the graveyard. And 7 can search, but won't get the banish because Catast has no Malice links here. So he goes Chessy draw. Roll happens. Makes a Ling here. Bluff Gold Sart. That it's TB11 or something else. Banishes Dormouse. Reload the Rabbit. Set 6 for real. Here's a Lizard, which can banish a name from the graveyard, and then reload it. Make your Elm version just a touch smaller. 6 banish Ransom, reborn a mouse. This will reload. Banish a guy from the deck. Make Link Decoder before linking it off, and this looks like a Terahertz here. White Binder. Glad to see White Binder, not Terahertz here. I agree with this completely. Decoder will reborn. Binder reset 6. Here's an access code. Access banish White Binder. And then this is just almost lethal. I believe it is just a few points short. The mouse puts us exactly over, because this is 7,900 without that mouse boost. So the mouse attack boost mattered here. Woo! 281 is on Arcana Force. And Catast is on Maliss here. 281 gets to start. He starts with the Fenrir, which immediately gets ashed. And does he have more plays? I have not read these cards. So gets a Light Barrier. Searches for the Sun. And something else. The Sun will summon. Coins are happening. Heads was selected. Gets another one of that guy. Who is this? Okay. The World. Heads. World landed on Heads. But I think you need it Heads on your own field. Okay. So now, Heads was selected. So the World resolved here, and now something very funny is about to happen. It is Catast's turn, but the turn is skipped, and now it is back to 281 on turn 3 of the game, which is funny. And so now all he has to do is find just any way to lethal from already having a 3,600 attack monster. So this normally isn't too difficult. So here comes the Sun. Got us 2 sisters. We're at 80-50 damage on the field, so if they can all attack, 98-50, well over lethal. And then there's nothing Catast could do there. Here's game 2. 281 won the last game, so Catast gets to go first. The World resolved in the last game. What can Catast do to get out underneath the World? Mining discard Dotscaper feels so good, because Dotscaper comes back for free. Circular send Sigma. Sigma summon. Get the Super Fact. And we have a third Math Mech in hand, but Alan Bershin here is normally going to get Diameter. There it is. Now we go Splash Mage. Diameter Reborn. Make Link Decoder. Into Transcode. Decoder Reborns. Transcode Reborn Splash Mage. This is Terahertz. Terahertz send Dormouse. Hair banish Dormouse. Dormouse reloads. Mouse banishes Rabbit. Rabbit summons. Rabbit sets 6. And this is Ransom. So this looks very impressive, but 281 here has no interaction in his hand at all. So Catast gets to do this uncontested, and that's why this looks powerful. It is powerful, if uncontested. Okay. The Binder will reload the Ransom. Hair retrieves itself. Chessy draws some cards. Binder sets 7. 6 banish Binder. Reborn the Rabbit. And this is a big singularity. So Catast is not only on Math Mech and not only on Firewall, but also on Singularity. And he sends a D-Save and a Maxi. Super Fax, summon 3. Make Laplation, and get this Unicorn out of here. We don't need to see it. Goodbye. Goodbye, Light Barrier. Goodbye, Unicorn. He's going for a Tract, and D-Save Worm will save us from that. Laplation has a negate because it was made with the diameter this turn, so the light barrier also gets negated. 281 surrenders because the uncontested Math Maliss board is too much. This is the next game of Catast and 281. So let's see what can happen. This should be game 3. Catast has selected going second because he won the last game. So 281 gets to go first. His first Arcana Force card that gets Ash Blossom. And then he hits him with a Fua. Arcana Reading. Hits the heads. Searches for something. A light barrier. Summoning more guys. Your normal summon gets impermed. Arcana Reading from the graveyard. Normal summons again. We choose heads. Get a Chariot here. Make a Baguska pass. Baguska versus a Link deck. Let's see how this works out for him. You can't activate. You can activate, but your monsters in the field will be negated. Link into Code Talker. Microcoder searches Signet Kodak. Kodak activates. Signet Mining for Guardian. Normal summon Guardian. Link this off into Link Decoder. Reborn Firewall Guardian. Here's Transcode to Reborn. Kodak will target our Earth and search an Earth. Gatchiri will be able to summon itself for free. Summon a Dark. Link Access. Signet Kodak should be able to search a Dark. And it does. That chain link order was incorrect, though, because the opponent can respond to Signet Kodak, but not Access Code. Access pops. Here's Heat Soul. We get to search a Fire now. Make our Access unaffected. So here's Code of Soul, which can summon itself for free. Draw a card. Pop your other monster. Code of Soul summons. This is a Terahertz. And then this is well over 8,000 damage. This is 10,000 damage from multiplication. So we did need the multiplication there because I believe we've activated Circular, but I could be wrong. There was no Circular activation. Jaden Yubel was our Yubel-HERO player. Mr. John has selected going first, and he is playing Exodia. So he starts with the D-Shifter, activates Heart of Blue Eyes, get the Ankh. Ankh summon the unstoppable Exodia, and then he has a Maxi and Bell in hand. Maxi will not be doing anything. Bell, I believe, can activate because she does not need to go to the graveyard. She just says you can discard this card. But Bell only negates things that touch the graveyard. He drew Increase again. You're completely right. Drawing Increase again in... It is 40 cards. Exodia comes in. Spirit of Yubel summons. He smashes in to get the attack gain. Now, all he has to do is activate Nightmare Pain. If Nightmare Pain resolves, Spirit in kills him. Except that he has 2 Fires of Rage, so that's not going to happen. Okay. John pays the life. His Exodia gets bigger. Has nothing much to do. Oh, Jaden does play 2 Increase. So I'm not sure what happened to that other game. But drawing 2 Increase is not good. I don't know why John's summoning this here. We need to do an investigation, yes. Okay, this comes in. Exodia gets even bigger. John has a ton of cards. Gets another Ankh. Reveal the Ankh. Ankh plays 2 cards. Doom Dragon can push this into the back row here. Is that what happens? Yes, Doom Dragon will push back the Spirit of Yubel, and Exodia will attack for 22,000. Only 18,000. He doesn't bother activating. 18,000 is enough. So we need to do an investigation real quick to see if Jaden has 2 in his deck. Jaden did register 2 Increase in his deck, so I don't know why he went Ferris Place Vion in the first round. Game 2 between John and Jaden Yubel. Jaden has drawn a whole bunch of bricks, so we can pray that our literal hero player does not brick this time. Double Spirit Miracle Fusion. Okay. Into a Fulos. So we have Blazeman Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny. Summon Dangerous here. Interesting. Dangerous activates. Sends the Dasher. Summon Blazeman. Blazeman gets Imper. So he will not add Polymerization. However, Mali can start linking away into a Fulos. Devicer here gets Neos. But where's your Poly? Okay, we're sitting on a Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel will save us. Surely. Mr. John is starting with Exodia stuff. Easy peasy. Let's go. Reveal the Ankh multiple times. Now we activate the Ankh, and we've got a couple big monsters. So this should be quick, easy, lethal, because this is 8,000. Oh no, Spirit of Yubel, just like I said, here to save the day. So we will take a bunch of damage, and we are at 150 life points. 150 life points. Soul Drain, so Yubel in the graveyard won't activate. Exodia negates Nightmare Pain. Miracle Fusion to Max C. Who is this? This is Sunrise. I was thinking maybe an Ab-Zero hero could help. Kill this. Put it in the back row. Banish it for Winkribo level 6. What is this? This is an Elemental Hero favorite card. Cannot be summoned. Must be summoned from your hand by banishing a Hero Fusion or Winkribo. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, or an opponent's monster on the field, tribute this card, destroy that monster, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent's original attack save. So it cannot kill Exodia, because Exodia cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Fires of Rage plus Soul Drain is a good answer to Spirit here. And then this is just lethal. And Jaden Yubel has nothing he can do here against an 8,000 attack Exodia. More than 8,000. Aban has selected going first. Okay, he starts with Sengi, which gets ashed. Cross out the ash, and that resolves. But he does have a Druis and a Nib to fight through. He gets to Talons, take the Nib, get out of here. Now we're safe. And will Zombie Vampire find Aban a combo piece here? So here's Zombie Vampire activating, and it finds Dormouse. Perfect. Dormouse for hair, and we're off to the races. The only thing we have to fight through is Druis Worm, but that normally eats the Link Decoder, which is just an extra Link body, which we have extra materials anyway, so we don't care one bit. So here's Decoder. Druis doesn't even activate. He decides not to even go for it. He's going to Druis his own hair to get the hair back before Apollo comes down. Now, hair is going to summon, banishing Rabbit. Rabbit gets to set 6, so that is on the field. SP here gets rid of Druis Worm. That's an access, and then he's going to banish Ransom here to destroy the 6. So 6 never gets a chance to activate, and now it's gone, and you have to make Binder to reset the 6 and use it ever. This is a Splash Mage. So this is the downside of trying to commit on your opponent's turn, is that your opponent can do something like SP Access and get rid of your cards. Get some cards out of the graveyard, set your own 6, access banish a Rabbit, 6 banish Binder, Reborn Chessie, Binder reloads, here's Firewall. Firewall, add back Lancia Maxi, link 3 into Cryptor. Cryptor put back Underground, get this hair out of here, that's already been used. Now normal summon Rabbit, set 7, is that what happened? After all that? And so that was the first Lancia I've seen activate. So Aban has used the first Lancia today, and Drex was not going to play through that. Okay, Drex is going first. And the interactions he has to fight through is Ash, Max C. Ash is the Chessie. 7 will search and reload the Chessie. Max C gets a draw. Set Imperm Pass. Don't want to give the opponent any more cards than we have to. Aban here has a Golem. And the Temple will get to place the Fulos. So this is the upside of Millennium here, is that Millennium gets to get rid of extra monsters that aren't very useful. like dead hand traps. Push this to the back row. Very funny. Summon the mouse. Get impermed. But this is okay because we still have 3 monsters and it's over 8,000 damage. That is another upside of Millennium. It's just that it's easy, quick, lethal. Jimby's going to start with a Gold Sark here. Gold Sark for Mouse. Mouse reloads. We have the hair already, so we get to go straight for Rabbit. Rabbit gets to set 7. 11. Jimby is an 11 enjoyer. So we get to summon Chessie, so we have an extra body out of the deck. Chessie into Decoder. Here is Ransom. This will Reborn, but Druis will eat the Decoder. We've seen that many times already. Or at least the possibility. Chessie can now reload. Chessie's not activated, so we banish the Underground, draw 2, Allure, banish a redundant Dormouse, make Apollo into Ling. So I feel like the sequencing with 11 there was not correct, and we could have done much more. Here's a 6. Opponent goes Go Spell, Apollo Negate, Maxi. Quite the chain link. So this is 6. Otaku chains Maxi. Jimby chains Apollo. Otaku. No, I'm sorry. He goes Bell. And then he calls by the chain link for Maxi. Rabbit comes back. Sets the 7, but there's no link monster here to get the banish. So this doesn't do very much. You can hair your monster back. Here's a Lizard. Get rid of the last Apollo Negate. You don't care if Apollo goes away or it becomes 0 attack. It's the same result. Otaku reloads the Chessie here. Sarks for Rabbit. Set 6 now, so we have 6 and 7 both set. Here's a Cryptor. Cryptor can banish the Ling if he wants. Ransom comes back. Ransom searches Mirror. And who was this? A Rabbit, but Rabbit had already reloaded. So Otaku eats the Linguribo, and then he goes Cryptor reload over Hair for game. So it looks like Jimby needs to view our spreadsheet. Link in the description. I'd appreciate if you drop a Twitch sub or whatever donation, because that takes a lot of time. Game 2 between Jimby and Otaku. Otaku has double Lancia here and a Maxi. He fires off the Maxi immediately. And what does Jimby do? Jimby activates Malice Underground. Otaku doesn't Lancia because he wants to get some cards off Maxi first. Sure. Sets 11, summons the Dormouse. Now he will Lancia. Chain 11. Chain his own hair so he can summon. And the Malice can't do very much without going into, like, SP. So SP could banish something here. Set the 6. Makes a Binder. Still into Maxi. Reset 11. Okay. This is not any interruptions here. Otaku goes Link Decoder. 11 gets ashed. Chain the hair. Not sure why. Hair gets belled anyways. Here's a Lingu. Just to link it off. Out of the way. Rabbit reloads. Sets the 7. Link these 3 into Ransom. Ransom and Decoder. We've seen this before. Here's an Apollo. Apollo now protects us from most things. Now, it seems like Jimby has no interactions left, and he does not. We can see his hand. Otaku just needs to find a way to lethal, and this is usually access code. So we have 4 other monsters on the field. Hair comes back. 6 gets to reborn because 6 was set before. And this is 10,000 damage. Apollo in for lethal. Otaku is self-reporting that he's not playing access code at all. So yes, this is another route. Just a bunch of monsters on the field with Dormouse boost is another route to lethal if you don't have access to access code. Dead Tube wins the first flip. And he's starting with a Royal Gold Sark. Gold Sark is not once per turn. I taught a player that Gold Sark is not once per turn today, and it blew his mind. Gold Sark is a very old card. So Rabbit sets 6. Decoder into Ransom, and now we're back into the normal combo line. Bell stops Decoder from coming back. Nobody wants Decoder to come back. 6 the Ransom away. Ransom comes back. Banish Hair. Hair comes back. We can either summon Hair or banish it for Chessie. We banish the Mirror for Chessie. Mirror banishes Dormouse, and we get the 3rd Hair, 3 of a kind. Hair summons. Splash Mage Reborn. Here's Binder. Binder resets 6. And who is this? EMZ Firewall. Again, no underground activation. Not sure that this was the best, but EMZ Firewall is fine. Milito goes for Engraver into Tract, into Flurry. And he's playing under Maxi, so it seems. Did this not resolve? Was Maxi called by on the first turn? I'm looking at the wrong hand. Dead Tube is drawing cards because it's Dead Tube's Maxi. I was looking at Milito's hand. Okay, so now Firewall has a single co-link, so you can bounce something. Sengen Summon. Reload the Ransom. So MMZ Firewall would have at least 2 co-links here. It's gonna Impulse the Sengi, get destroyed because we have a trap in our graveyard. Here's Golem. Banish the Golem, so opponents paid 4,000 life for no Millennium monsters. Binder reloads, draws a 3rd Underground. Imperm the opponent's Rabbit. And I believe Firewall hasn't activated, so if he goes for sequence, it gets bounced. And Milito scoops it up. This is Milito and Dead Tube. Milito is going to go first. He starts with Engraver. For Track, we've seen this before. Magnemite is a good answer to most of the Fiendsmiths most of the time, plus he has a Nibiru and Impulse. He's got 2 Nibiru. The second one is redundant. Comes a Requiem. We've seen this. Engraver activates now. He lets it happen. Sequence. Sequence shuffle away for Lacrima. Lacrima reborn here, and this is the usual Nibiru point, but he goes for the Magnemite instead. Now when he summons Dormouse, he'll go Nibiru. Chain the 7. Mouse will reload, and he will be able to still play the game. Mouse banish Chessie. Impulse the Chessie. Okay, we have 2 monsters. Good thing we had a Hare and Rabbit in hand. Hare banish Rabbit from hand, set the 6. Now we go Link Decoder. To Ransom. We've banished our own Link so many times for the trap cards today. Hare will summon back. Return itself to hand, I mean. Excuse me. Here's an Apollo. Splash Mage. Will he find his way to out the Nibiru here, or will he use Underground? He has Underground in hand to protect Apollo from anything that activates. Anything that can attack. Excuse me. I cannot speak right now. So he tries to Druid Swarm in end phase. Apollo negates. We have Underground. So we go straight into battle. Milito never used Underground. Activate Druids, get Belled. Now we Underground. Activate Mouse. Apollo negates, and we have to pass the turns. We're sitting on Nibiru Druid Swarm only. Set 7. Hare comes back. Hare summons. That's 1. Chessie Cat is 2. Draw 2 cards. 3. 4. So now Cryptor can attack. How do we out the Druid Swarm? Banish it. And then can we activate 7 here? We can activate 7, banishing Cryptor. Cryptor will reload for the last bit of damage. There we go. I was worried there that Cryptor would not be able to banish herself to get the attack boost for enough damage, but the 7 was set this turn. Okay. Milito lost the last game, so Dead Tube gets to go first, or reverse. Yes. Milito won the last game. Okay, so here we have an Ash Blossom Maxi exchange. Dormouse comes back, banish the Rabbit. Rabbit reloads, set 6. Summon Maxi. I said that right, summon Maxi. Link Ransom, okay. Because you normal summon a hand trap here, and then you're back exactly the same as 1 card Dormouse. Banish Ransom, Ransom summons. Banish Chessie. Chessie reloads. Ash the Chessie, which is normally very good, and one of the few things you can Ash in the deck. Splash Mage, Reborn the Rabbit. Link Binder. Binder sets 7 into Cryptor. So we end on Cryptor, 7, Mirror, Imperm, Maxi. So we just Maxi immediately, in case he links this off instead of drawing. Imperm the draw. Milito activates Underground, and then we get to 7, Search and Banish. Okay, here's a decoder. Pass turn. Beat Link Decoder. Should be easy enough. Hair Banish Binder. Binder reload. Draw another Bestial. Get your Chessie out of here. So we can banish it again with Cryptor. We reload, and Milito surrenders, because there's nothing he can do. Well, go ahead, give me a follow. Okay, Drex gets to start. There's no Lancia, but there is an Imperm Impulse. I would have Impermed the Rabbit to start. He impulses the Bestial here, but he has the second Bestial. And then he concedes because the rest of the hand was not going to beat a full board. Dead Tube goes first. Starting Rabbit, we have the 7 set to dodge Imperm. Banish Rabbit, search Hair. Rabbit reloads. Here's the Hair. Impulse the Hair. Hair does not summon. Set 2 trap cards and pass. So the opponent has Sark plus Mouse to play through these interruptions, but he does have the set 7 to dodge the Imperm, which is handy. Search the Hair. Mouse comes back. Summon the Rabbit. Rabbit sets 6 now. Here's Ling to protect against these trap cards. But Nib just ticked up to 5. We nib him, but our opponent has Impulse, which destroys the Nib as well because our opponent has a trap in the group. So Drex goes into Cryptor. Decoder reborns. We are banishing one of the back row. Cryptor does not target. We make an Access. Access gets to banish Cryptor, who gets to reload herself. We summon her. Opponent tries to activate 6. Drex saved the Ling for it. Hair gets to Called by the Rabbit, which I believe is the only Malice in the grave. He has the trap card, but not enough. 6 in the battle phase, banish Cryptor to summon the Cryptor, and he dies. Katasta is going first versus Brajan. Brajan is our brave Snake Eyes duelist. Oh, how Snake Eyes has become the hero. Rabbit sets 6. Can Nibiru stop him? Hair summon. Nibiru. Small World through Fua into Circular. Circular for Sigma. Sigma for Superfac. This is Splash Mage. Splash Mage will reborn a Malice, and we get to play the Malice game anyways. Here's Ransom. Ransom get Underground. Reload the Chessie. Link these into Binder. No Link Spider required. Banish Hair and Ransom. Ransom reloads. Banish Dotscaper. Interesting. Dotscaper comes out. Set the 7. Link 3 into Terahertz. terahertz in diameter, which is our third cybers, or third math mech for super factorial. And then we'll send D-save now. I would have done it the opposite way, but that's just me, because if they called by immediately, we can D-save to negate. Super factorial. Is that 2 guys? Is that true? Alimbertion. Is this true? Sigma's vanished. True. So here's Alimbertion summon. Rabbit, or Binder comes out. Here's Ransom. Okay, we have a lot of cards in our opponent's turn coming out, and we said 11. What's left is 7, though, as a banish. Get the Lurie out of here. Don't want him doing Fiendsmith stuff. Ash Engraver. This was someone with diameter, which can negate the Sengen Jet. Very nice. Brajan has been doing his absolute best as a Snake Eyes soldier still playing this game. But Catast, having the absolute Cybers pile, gets to go first. Under Max C. Brajan's drawing cards. Super Fact. Alimbertion. Brajan's already at 7 cards. Now we're linking to Code Talker and pass. Get a codec. We're not passing yet. We're still going. Link Decoder. Transcode. Codec Reborn that. Add Ignister Summon. Here's an unaffected Terahertz. Brajan has 15 cards in his hand. Now we have Lancia. We've drawn the Lancia. That ends Catast's turn. So we have a Super Fact and a Terahertz to deal with. Summon the Unicorn. Unicorn gets to search the berth. Maxi the Super Fact again. So we draw 2 cards here. 1. The Xyz summon is 2. We lose our Unicorn. Nope. Yes, we lose Unicorn. All of these cards. Goodbye. Okay. D-save. Is this the only Maliss in the graveyard? It is. So Hair doesn't even get to summon. Opponent pays 300 for no reason. Lacrima activates, but he banishes the Hair from hand to negate Lacrima. Sometimes I forget that Mirror can banish from hand. Very useful. Engraver comes back anyways. Engraver into Requiem. Requiem into Lacrima. Send the guy. Now we're gonna normal summon Snake Eye Ash. Debel set. Send Poplar. That OSS is not gonna do very much unless we have like Jet Synchron. I did not see as far as I remember. Summoner guy. We still have to deal with an unaffected 8,000 attack Terahertz. So what's the plan here? Take out the Code Talker. Is this lethal over Code Talker? No. I thought it was. That would have been very funny. Okay, now we make an IP. Link into Princess. Flame Burge activates. Reborn 2 1s. Temple. There's a Phoenix. What do we pop? Kodak. Goodbye, Kodak. Can't let you search more. Place the IP in the back row. Here's a Link Karibo as well. Link Karibo is now in the graveyard. Now we get to equip Sequence to Desiree. So we have Apollo, Desiree, IP, and Crossout. So now we can link SP and banish Terahertz now. Terahertz Chain sends the Rabbit. So we can banish Rabbit with Hair. Sigma summons. Have another Kodak. Is this another Kodak, or did he draw... It's another one. He got it back. Earthclone Ignister gets popped by Princess, and Princess seals the game. That is the end. I was mistaken, and that last game was game 2. This is game 3, and Catast gets to go first with Maliss. But Brajan has a very nice hand with 3 impactful hand traps, 2 impactful hand traps, because Ash is not super impactful, but Katast is on a big cyber slot pile, so we'll see what he does. Start circular. We Maxi. Katast opens. Maxi and Ash Blossom in 60. He must be cheating, right? Okay, get the super pack now. Alimbertion. Alimbertion get diameter. We stop this. And this one is stopped. But he has subtraction to keep playing anyways. So Splash Mage plus Code of Soul. This looks like a Terahertz. Here's Transcode. Normal Summon Maxi. Reborn the Circular. It is a Singularity. Plus a Code Talker. Reborn Transcode. Link these into Heat Soul. So we have Heat Soul Singularity plus Super Fac against Lancia, Called by. Flameburge. Top deck Flameburge is not what we want to see. We set Lancia in the back row, which is a legal play. You're allowed to do that. Called by one of the things, and then he summons both Mathmex. Code of Soul, link these into Terahertz now. Singularity. What is Singularity doing? Have you read Singularity? Can you tell me in the comments what Singularity does without reading the card? Quick effect, target cards your opponent controls up to the different types. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, target a Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So it is Firewall the opposite way. So when your monster that it points to goes away, you can reborn a Cyberse instead of summon one from hand. Terahertz activates, and Brajan says, I'm done. Big unfortunate. Brave Snake Eye Duelist was not in the cards this game. Oban and Otaku. Otaku goes first. We have another Maliss in the mirror here. We're starting Sark when we have Mouse. Not sure I agree about that. Hua and Maxi both resolve. I would just Chessie draw cards here. Reload the Rabbit for one more draw. Summon Mouse. Get the hair back. Now, I don't know about if I like Ransom here because it's 2 draws. He already has 7, but has no link. He tries to end the turn. Hair plus Rabbit sets 7. We turn into Ling to stop one of the many trap cards. He mirrors. We get to banish Mirror. It'd be very cool if we could activate it. We can activate it, but it would be negated. Chessie comes out. So 1 trap is under control. And there's 2 more to still fight through. Here's a Cryptor. We let the 6 resolve. Banish another one. And then we have Ling for the last trap card, but we also have 7 to banish. So all of your trap cards are gone. Now we have an Apollo. Banish Rabbit. Rabbit comes back. Now we get to do Millennium stuff. Summon a bunch of big, fat bodies. Here's a Link Decoder. Into Binder. Decoder summons back. We get to take your mirror away now while it's under crossout. Cryptor comes back at 5,600 attack, which is huge. Here's also a 5,300 access. Pop the Ransom. Binder comes back. We kill the Rabbit and attack for 1 million damage about. Maxi ruined another game. Taku's going first. This is game 2. So start Mouse, but we have Lancia. Called by the Lancia. Goodbye. So we have a single Ash Blossom to stop Otaku's Onslaught. So here's a 6. Now comes Decoder. Code of Soul summons. We make a Link 3. Decoder will reborn. Chain blocking our red Ransom from Ash Blossom, which is very important. Here's Apollo. So now we are safe when we activate Binder or Chessie from Ash Blossom. Or Mirror as well. As Apollo can negate. And then he decides that's enough. Don't want to see the rest of the combo. Not going to play it out. Which is how many games go. And Otaku wins that game. Otaku picks second because he won the last game. So Bond gets to go first. He fires off Maxi immediately. Doing Millennium stuff. Glad to see that Millennium hasn't gone anywhere. I love to see the cards. I like the cards quite a lot. Okay, Rabbit into Hair. Reload the Rabbit. Turn into Link Decoder. Now we can summon Hair. But Hair gets Ghost Bell. So we have no option but to Talon's Look of his hand. Just kidding. Sark the Mouse. Mouse comes out. Reload Chessie. Chessie gets to banish Hair, draw 2 cards. Back March Hair. Now we go Ransom and resummon Decoder. Here it is. Search Mirror. Interesting. Link Splash Mage. Not typical. Summon Whitebinder here. Whitebinder banish Ransom Chessie. Set 6. 6 banish Binder, Reborn of Name. Binder reloads. Summon Firewall in the main monster zone. So this was not possible to triangle link it, but you should try to think in advance. You want to put Firewall under one of the EMZs, just in case your opponent, I don't know, misplays and puts Apollo in the same zone or something stupid. You want to give your opponent the possibility to give you more advantage. And I don't see a downside to Firewall co-linking with an opponent's monster. Your opponent's Firewall, I suppose. Opponent summons Chessie, immediately bounce. Summon Hair, banish Ransom. Ransom summons. Get Underground here. Druis was 2000 attack because of Ransom's co-link. And then Otaku has no more plays here. Bond's way down at 3,000 life points, but the life points haven't mattered. And that's in for lethal. John has been on Exodia. Jimby's admitted this is one of his first times playing Maliss in a tournament. First time playing Maliss, period, is this tournament. So John starts Heart of the Blue Eyes. Gets the Ankh for Exodia. We're doing the Millennium things. Set up, reveal the Ankh. Summon the Shield. So this is only 3 summons. If you summon the Rabbit, you are then vulnerable to Nibiru. So opting not for the Rabbit makes you Nib-proof because you don't summon 5 times. Just like that. Goodbye. This happened to me the other day in my You Should Play Exodia. Goes Azaroon. So he can attack with Nibiru and destroy the Azaroon. But that's very, very little downside. So he goes Link Decoder. Ransom. So here I would Azaroon. Negate the summon. But he has Call by the Exodia. Bell the... Huh? Sure. That was an interaction. Hair summons. Ransom can't activate because it was summon was negated. Banish or Cryptor to save it from Heart of Blue Eyes. Why didn't it summon? Banish for 7. Cryptor, no effect. Not sure what happened there. Now a big Exodia will be a quick lethal. So Ankh, reveal all the pieces. Summon Exodia, lose the token. Attack for 8,000. The game ends. Not sure what happened with Cryptor. A reloaded Cryptor at 5,000 attack, banishing Exodia changes the game. Apparently this game has a connection issue, which is always very frustrating. So Jimby starts Sark into Maliss, which is a good start, with 3 anti-hand trap cards. Cross out the Imperm. We called by the Bell on the Hair. Now we go Red Ransom. Decoder Reborns. Underground Summons. Splash Mage. Underground doesn't summon. Underground gets us to cards that can summon. Here's a Terahertz. Send D-save on our turn. Lancia is not awesome. Opponent does have Temple, which is a full combo. But not... You can Temple first for... Okay. Aggregator negate that on the field. Nice. Doom Dragon push this back. Okay. So with Lancia and top deck... Okay, top deck the mouse. Not worried at all. And then Jimby has a connection issue. Big unfortunate, because I think Jimby would have had it there if not for the connection issue. This is game 2 between 281 and Jaden. And Jaden has self-reported that he was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At work and his boss caught him, so he was late to the match and had to forfeit game 1. So 281 is already up a game. Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! At work. Or do. I can't stop you. Okay. So Unicorn into Arcana Force. And reportedly, a certain card effect resolves in this game. So we're doing Fiendsmith stuff, and we're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Summon the sequence. Summon Lacrima. Make an Apollo here to make us nib-proof, or nib-safe. Summon the Sun. Light Barrier gets Light Force. Arcana Reading gets Speed. What is that? Spread. Speed, not speed. Give your opponent the world. It comes ahead. Doesn't matter. Summon the Fusion. Summon the Light Ruler. Summon the world. The world gets a heads. And skip Jaden's turn. So now it is turn 3. 281 gets to go again. And he has 6,400 damage on the field, which is almost lethal because Lacrima resolved. And this got to attack twice for 8,000. So that game is over, and we had another non-game, but the World is a funny card to see resolve, but is one of those that just feels very bad because there's literally nothing you can do if you don't have hand traps to stop it. It is effectively an FTK. 281 has brought Arcana Force, and he's playing against Brajan, our only Snake Eyes soldier. And after this game, 281 says he's playing on his phone and his phone died. So he has to withdraw from the tournament. But we can see how this game goes. Okay, Brajan starts with Snake Eyes stuff. Millennium stuff. These are not Snake Eyes cards. Into Moon. And 281's only interaction here is a single Imperm. He imperms the Lacrima, so there's no Engraver in play. This equips. Send Requiem for Diabel. Link Sequence. Get to make Lacrima anyways. You get to summon Moon. Link those into Apollo. Link 2 plus Link 2 equals Link 4. That is true. Then we OSS for Ash. Temple. And we play Wedju Temple first and send it. And 281 has seen enough. He decides, I think that this was his phone dying, not a surrender here. So his phone died, and he has to withdraw from the tournament, which is sad. Make sure your phone is charged, guys, or plug it in, or play on PC. So Taku and John. John brought Exodia. We have Double Rabbit with Lancia Impulse as the interactions here. So I believe that Golem says the activation of your Ankh can't be negated. He Lancia's here. I'm not sure how Lancia is to your advantage. He's able to impulse the Ankh. Huh? Hold on. Ankh is not once per turn. Part of the effect of Ankh is you cannot summon for the rest of this turn. Ankh is not once per turn. So if you activate Ankh and the effect is negated by Dominus Impulse or a similar card, you can activate another Ankh. Very good to know. So he goes Ankh again anyways. Summon Exodia, set Fires of Rage. So we have Azaroon, Fires of Rage, Imperm, Exodia Spell Trap Negate. And Azaroon is live. Imperm the Chessie. Otaku has Bestial only. So here's a Lingu. Reload the Chessie. Lingu protects from Fires of Rage. Now we have Chessie Bestial. Link Serve. And pass. He did not negate here. Does this have to discard at the graveyard? Okay, second Exodia. Sir, a second Exodia has hit the field. Here comes one Exodia for 5,000. Second Exodia for 5 more thousand. The game is over. Just like I said, Exodia, when you get to go first, is quite good. Otaku has asked, why couldn't Cerberus activate in this game? So let's take a look. I think I already see why Cerberus cannot activate. Leave a comment if you know why Cerberus can't activate in this game. Activate Cerberus. Not Cerberus. Lancia. Jeez Louise. Activate a Lancia. So Mr. John activates Millennium Ankh, and Otaku chains Dominus Impulse from his hand on Millennium Ankh. Negate that effect. If you activated this card from your hand, you cannot activate the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of this duel. Cerberus is an earth monster. That is why we could not activate Cerberus, and that is why Mr. John was fine to let Cerberus summon later in the duel, because he has an Azaroon when Otaku goes for Cerberus, and he doesn't negate, because Cerberus cannot activate, because Impulse has turned off earth monsters. Game 2 of Otaku and Mr. John. Mr. John won the first game going first. Otaku gets to go first this game. Bounce Banish Rabbit. And Mr. John has no interactions here, so Otaku just gets to do his full Malice gameplay. And he has a Magnavine. Ransom. Summon back Chessie. Chessie Banish Mirror. Trying to Ash Blossom Hair. Love to see it. Link down into Splash. Reborn. Link up into Binder. Banish Binder. Reborn. Ransom. Binder comes back. Binder resets 6 now. Now we have Apo Terahertz. Send. Desave. Summon March Hare. Summon Lingering Bone. Opponent tries to Imperm, but Lingu saves Apple from Imperm. 6-card Imperm is very sad. Negate the Temple here. Heart of Blue Eyes gets ashed, and John has nothing he can do. Unfortunate. It is best... Okay, let me pause this. So don't assume sus. Let me... Because if you are assuming malintent, you can ask... You can ask. Let me explain something, though. So if you're assuming malintent, you are going to see bad actors everywhere if you're always assuming malintent. So you must ask the rigorous questions of what is actually going on with the facts here. So you don't know, So the price went up on a card and they canceled your order. They could be telling the truth that it was a spreadsheet error on like how many they had of this card. But it is also possible that the price went up and you bought it at $7 and the price went up to 13 and they don't want to sell it at 13 or whatever. So yeah, it is Hanlon's razor. Do not attribute to Maliss what can be attributed to ignorance or stupidity. It's said both ways. Hanlon's razor. Hanlon. So it could be attributed to that. So if you are seeing bad actors on purpose, this is literally so my dad is diagnosed paranoid personality disorder. And he can't not see the bad actor. So literally when he came to visit me, we got on a train and we asked like, is this train going to the direction we need or whatever? And we asked somebody and the person we asked says yes. And my dad asks, how do we know that that person isn't trying to send us the wrong way? Like, this is literally crazy. Like, you can't assume this. You will make yourself go crazy if you are assuming bad actors. There's also maxims. There's 3 maxims of communication. And in one of them is that the assumption is that communication is helpful. So yes, there are bad actors out there, but if you're going looking for bad actors, you're going to find them, because everyone's actions can be seen as a microaggression or in bad faith when they're not, when they're literally a mistake. So in this case, you need to contact TCG Player or whoever the seller site is. Tell them what happened, and if you get a refund for your $7 or whatever I made that up. Like, I made it up that you bought it at 7 and the price went up to 13. And if you get a refund, like, you lost out and there's nothing more you can do. Okay, so Otaku says, in your first game against Mr. John, you couldn't activate Cerberus Effect. Do you know why? Because I couldn't figure out why it did that. I will look. I will look after this. Game 3 of Otaku versus Mr. John. Otaku gets to go first, and Mr. John is on Exodia, which likes to go first, but he has Fuelos Imperm, so this is decent. So let's see the game. John is going first, huh? I thought Otaku lost the last game. Mr. John is selected going first. Okay, Ash the Heart. So John did get to go first. Maybe I messed up the games because I'm watching them not all in order. Gold Circ, Chain Soul Drain, Banish, Silent Mining. That's very funny. Pivot into something else. Imperm the Chessie. Okay, we have a Chessie and a Malice in the Mirror versus Sengenjin. This doesn't look good. Activate Maxi. I would not have shotgunned this. Sengi, attack in. Sure. We get to top deck without a Graveyard or Banish. Magnamut. That's a good card. We get Silent Mining next turn. Magna can eat that and search for Druis here. Or Baldrake. Baldrake is better because Druis has no effect. It just summons itself. John top decks the Ankh. Heart of the cards. Reveal 5. So Baldrake here gets to banish Exodia. Baldrake activate. Banish Exodia. Fires of Rage. Pop the Baldrake anyway. So get your cards out here. And we're still on Sengenjin versus top deck. Very funny game. Top deck Code of Soul, get Silent Mining back. Silent Mining, search for Rabbit. Rabbit gets to set 1. Okay, so we can banish our Rabbit. Or no, we can just activate this to reborn something as defense. Okay, Sengi over. Reborn Rabbit in end phase. Rabbit gets to set 7. And then we get to search with 7. He has an Azaroon. Gold Sark is not what we wanted to see. It doesn't work to banish anything, so we'll get that card in 2 turns. Hair banish the mirror. Monsters can't activate, but spells and traps can. Okay, Splash Reborn. This is a Cryptor. Azaroon negates. I'm not sure what we could have done. You would have needed to summon something to deal with the Azaroon before summoning your Cryptor, and I don't know that you could have. Katast and Jimby, game 1. Katast gets to go first. Katast has been on our big Cybers pile. Jimby has Fua, but Katast has the Ash, so that's not happening. So it looks like Mathmech is gonna happen into no draws. Just kidding. Here's an Alimbertian. Alimbertian gets Super Fact. Normal summon Dormouse. Dormouse play the game. And Jimby is out of interaction here. He can summon March Hare by banishing Underground, but that doesn't do anything. So he obviously opts not to. Here's Code Talker. Search Microcoder. Link these into Transcode Talker. Search an Earth, and search Signet Mining. You get to get a free Dotscaper that you get to discard with the Signet Mining if you search a Signet spell or trap with the Microcoder. Here's Terahertz. Mining, pitch Dotscaper, search Code of Soul. Dotscaper summons itself. Summon Code of Soul into Heat Soul. There's a Splash Mage, Reborn the Hair. Now we get to do Malice things. There's a Malice in Underground. So on the Subtraction. Binder, banish some cards. Ransom, reload. Hair, retrieve. So we get the Hair for the opponent's turn to banish Binder. Summon back the Chessie. Summon Link Decoder. This is a Singularity. Is this going to be a V-Link here? Can he even V-Link? No, he does not bother. Okay, so D-save, negate Underground, normal summon Chessie, banish the Hair, draw 2 more Malice. Too bad we've already normal summoned. Cross out on Engine feels so good when you get to do it, so cross out the Chessie. Chessie does not resolve. Or was that Hair? That was Hair. Goodbye cards. Jimby passes turn because there's not much he can do. Cast Sense Multiplication for a 20,000 attack. Terahertz in for lethal. Jimby lost the last game, so he gets to go first. Katast has Ulos. So what does Jimby do? Ling, pass. Okay. Don't want to give him the cards. And this was... The opener was Chessie Hair 11. So here... I see. The Lancia stopped, put a stop to everything. Because I was thinking we could still ransom, we could still Chessie draw, but I missed the Lancia activation. So you go Underground, neg into Lancia. So this is why many people start something like Chessie. So if you set 11, and then normal summon Chessie, he has to activate right away as soon as you set one, or because what you could do is activate Chessie, he chains Lancia, then you can chain TB11, reload Chessie, and then link Splash, Reborn, and then still make Mirror plus 7 setup. They have Crossout glued to their hand. Okay, Defensor and Microcoder search. Kodak will get a million more searches. I think you can get all 6 in this deck. Okay, TB11 now. Cross out the TB11. This is pretty inconsequential, though. Chessie reloads, and we have Imperm only, so we Imperm that, but he already has enough bodies for Terahertz. which is lethal, because you can go Terahertz multiplication over Lingu. Multiplication here for 10,000 damage. And the game is over. I love Maliss. The next tournament, that we believe the next tournament is going to be, it's going to be like mid-August. I want it to be generally in the middle of the month. So right now we're at 1 a month. Because I need streaming to be viable for me. Streaming and YouTube. If people like them a lot, and it earns the money, then there will be more tournaments, possibly weekly, but now they're monthly. Dojo Dolo Open number 3 is going to be mid-August. Date is not set. Okay, so you're going first. He shotguns Fulos. I don't go Underground, because Underground is neg1 into Lancia. I set TB11. Normal summon Chessie Cat. If he doesn't Lancia in response to TB11 set, you can summon Chessie, let him activate, and either way, you go Chessie. Hold on, let me get my real cards. Chessie, he Lancias. Let's say he does Lancia in response, because that is the worst outcome, I suppose. You chain TB11, banish Chessie, summon, doesn't matter. I would go Rabbit here, so that Rabbit's in play. Chessie comes back. Link 2 into Splash, Splash, Reborn into... So how are you going to go Cryptor here? Like, what's your plan starting Cryptor? I'm not following. How did I make rated so fast? I played immediately upon Maliss release and ran into 0 Lancia, or very, very few. Like, very few Lancias. The replay is up if you want to go watch it. The plan of going Cryptor here doesn't make any sense to me. Because you would still go Apollo and all the rest. Abon and Dead Tube, I believe this is a long game 1. So strap in. Double Rabbit, Lancia going second. Don't love to see it. Chessie into Lancia, called by the Lancia. We are gaming. Abon has no other interaction here. Hare returns. This is easy. Chessie into Decoder. Summon the Hare. Link Ransom. There we are. Decoder gets to Reborn. This is an Apo to protect from the no hand traps that Abon has. We are banished Ransom. Ransom reloads. Banish the mouse because it hasn't been summoned yet because we started Chessie. Into Rabbit. Set the 6 from the deck with Rabbit. Splash summon. Six Reborns, banish Binder. Binder comes back. Make another Cryptor. Lots of people ending Cryptor like this today. Might just be Dead to that I'm seeing again and again. Imperm Cryptor, sure. Interesting chain link. Apollo's negated. Rabbit is negated. Rabbit reloads. Talons take your Cryptor. Bank Link Decoder. 6 Reborn Binder. Binder banish. Ransom reloads. Setting your own Binder. I mean, Emmett setting 7. That's what I meant to say. And then you banish Binder. If he had put Cryptor here, I believe it resolves because it can't be negated. I think that's how it works. Cryptor got banished and summons. Valiant effort, but playing through a full Maliss setup is very difficult. Alright, this is game 3. Unfortunately, DeadTube was a little bit late. We will have some timer issues. We will have less timer issues next time. We'll have fewer timer issues next time. Okay, so Bon gets to go first. He starts Hair. Banish Hair for 7. Search Mouse. Hair resummons. Hair adds itself. Banish Mouse to summon. I see the plays. I see what we're doing. Now we get to banish Chessie. Chessie banishes Hair to draw 2 cards. Now we go Link Decoder. And I'm looking at DeadTube's hand for the first time, and he has no interaction. He has 5 pieces of engine. So here's an Apollo. These talents are not going to do anything, but full Maliss combo is going to do quite a lot. Here is Rabbit returning. Splash Mage summon a guy. Make Binder. Okay, now we 6 away the Binder. Gain some life. Reset 7 here. We set 7 because 7 is the interaction. And we have Hair to banish the Binder. So here we have 2 Apo negates, up to 3 firewall bounces, a banish from, yeah, 3 firewall bounces, a 7 banish, Droll, Ash, Nibiru. Okay. Apollo is negating these. Apollo's down to 2. Ling to protect from the 7. Underground, summon the Rabbit. Druid's Worm summons. Hair will retrieve herself. Now we nib. Goodbye field. And Lingu is gone, so we can banish the Binder now. Summon Binder. Banish Ransom. And their Rabbit that's been used. So we get Ransom and Chessie here. And we still have 7 as a banish. So 7 gets to just banish a back row, I assume. 7 banishes DeadTube 7. And now through a single set card, this should be an easy game. Reset the 7, banish. DeadTube chains. We get to banish the token. And then we're just going to kill the Chessie. Get your trap card out of here. Link Cryptor. Bon returns the mirror. Banish Chessie. Chessie returns. Talents to take it, and that's super game. Who wins? Who's our winner? Aban! Aban, congratulations on winning Dojo Dolo Open number 2 with a 4-0 record. And let's see if we can check his deck right now. All of these decks will be posted to Master Duel Meta, as well as the video cut. So did Aban has 2 screenshots here. So Aban was playing Maliss, Millennium Maliss, with 3 Lancia, 3 talents here. Okay, so Aban won the tournament 4-0 with Millennium Maliss. He had 3 talents in his deck, and the link will be in the description to the Master Duel Meta tournament page where you can see all of the deck lists, and you can join our next tournament by joining our Discord. Link also in the description. The tournament will be mid-August because I want to get in before the next ban list, but I can only do them about once a month at current pace. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and Twitch and all that other garbage that you know what to do.